All right, it's on. Thanks.
Perfect. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our virtual information session here for the Cyclone Aides and for the Destination Iowa State team leaders. My name is Jacob Voss. I'm a first-year student in the Student Affairs program here at Iowa State. Excited to be here with you today. We also have a great panel of three of our Cyclone Aides team leaders here that we'll introduce here in just a few minutes as well. So we're going to kind of get started here. We're going to share some different information about both positions. They have different due dates in terms of their applications. So we want to make sure that we get you information for both of those. So let's get started. We'll kind of lay out the session just a little bit here and let you know what you can kind of expect throughout the session and what we can expect to see as we go throughout the entire time here. Let's see. Slides. Maybe the slides will be a little more difficult than they were supposed to be. Sorry about that. All right. Let's roll. Here we go. All right. So first, we're going to start with some of the Cyclone Aide information, just a few slides on that. And then we'll go into a Q&A session where you'll have the opportunity to ask some questions. So you can feel free to put those in the Q&A portion. They'll feature here on WebEx events. And we'll ask a few guided questions to them as well. And then we'll go into the Destination Iowa State team leader information, a few slides about that, answer some questions about that portion, and then we'll wrap up with some final reminders and kind of those application details of when everything is due towards the end of the half hour here. So we got about a half hour together. So let's get started first with the Cyclone Aide position. So this is an awesome opportunity, paid opportunity for the summer months. So this is our 2019 crew here. So a very exciting experience for everybody. And we got a few experts here on panel as well. This is just a little word cloud to kind of describe a few of those different terms that you have as a Cyclone Aide, kind of that orientation experience, leadership, having fun, of course, being part of a team as well as a big component of that, and making, of course, great friends as well. So it's a really cool experience. Really, if you have a passion for Iowa State, this is a great first leadership opportunity for you, or second, third, fourth leadership opportunity. So it's a really cool time spending that summer here in Ames and getting to welcome all these families and students here to Iowa State is a really powerful thing. So first, to kind of explain what are Cyclone Aides, they are our orientation leaders, so they'll guide us through that June timeframe. And they also work directly with those incoming students and their families. They tend to have a lot of questions and are very excited to be here at Iowa State. So you're here to welcome them and make sure that they feel welcome at Iowa State. Our Cyclone Aides are very energetic, positive representatives of Iowa State. We will want you to put on that energetic face every time you come in for those shifts and things like that. So if that's you, this is a perfect position for you. And then we also support the Destination Iowa State team leaders. So that's the other position that we're talking about today. So you actually get to be involved in Destination Iowa State as well and supporting those team leaders kind of in a mentorship role. So if you're looking for something like that, that's another cool component of being a Cyclone Aide. And then obviously assisting in planning and executing Destination Iowa State. There's many events, lots of things going on all over campus for all of our thousands of new students. So you get to be in play with all of that throughout the entire experience. So it's a really cool opportunity. And of course, we want to get to some of those details for you in terms of when are things going to be starting, how much am I going to be making in terms of pay and things like that. So May 17th is that start time, and then you'll get to move into campus. And so housing is provided for you with this position. And this year it's going to be in Frederickson Court. So it'll be a 4-person, 4-bedroom apartment for you. We also have continuous housing available if you're finding yourself in a little gap between the end of the school year and that May 17th timeframe. So that's a really cool extra option there for you if you need that. And so that will continue in terms of the position through Saturday of Destination Iowa State. And so that is the Thursday through Saturday before school begins. Those dates have not been exactly set yet for the next school year, but it will be that Thursday through Saturday before school starts, no matter what that date is. In terms of the all-important pay, obviously this is a paid leadership opportunity, lots of great opportunities here. So pay is $10 an hour for you. Typically what you can expect is 30 to 40 hours per week during the May timeframe, starting on that May 17th through orientation season, which is typically that June month there. Typically students will not have another job during this time. They're pretty much working full-time for us here within new student programs. And then beyond that is 10 to 20 hours per week during the month of July through the week before Destination Iowa State, before we'll need you back in full gear for Destination Iowa State week to help pull that event off. So that'll be another 30 to 40 hours there for you. So really cool opportunity to get a lot of hours in during the summer months and that housing. And of course, you get the coveted polo to be a part of us here in terms of the Cyclone Aide position. And so we have a lot of opportunity for you there. And really, it's an opportunity to bring back orientation to campus in that in-person sort of event and impact those students and their families. It's a really cool opportunity for you. And then in terms of the application, so if you're looking to apply for this position, the applications are due on February 21st at 11:59 p.m. So that is when you can expect to need to have that application in. So make sure you're taking a look at it. We'll have the link to the site to get onto the application at the end of the presentation here. But a really cool opportunity. You can see the big group of Cyclone Aides from 2019 and how much they're enjoying their position. So this is a cool opportunity for you to be part of this team here as in terms of Cyclone Aides. And so let's answer a few questions for you here. So we have our expert panelists, and you can see all these pictures. We got a lot of fun going on. There's a lot of different events that you're a part of. And a couple of our panelists have been Cyclone Aides from this previous year. And then we also have a Destination Iowa State team leader expert as well. They'll all kind of give their insights here. So I'm gonna have them introduce themselves first. And we will start with Blair.
Hi, I'm Blair. I'm from Brookings, South Dakota, and I am a major in nutritional science and event management, and I was a DIF leader.
Hello, my name is Ellen. I'm a senior in psychology, and I am from Rock Island, Illinois, and I was a Cyclone Aide.
My name is Katie Wyatt, and I'm a sophomore studying disability from West Des Moines, Iowa, and I was also a Cyclone Aide.
Awesome. So we've got our experts in play here. So we are ready to go. So I got a few questions for you. And also, if anyone has any questions, feel free to put that in the Q&A portion of WebEx here, and we will get those questions answered for you, and I'll pull it up here so that way I have it ready to go if anyone does do any of those questions. But my first question, all of you answer this one. Why did you choose to either be a Cyclone Aide or a Destination Iowa State team leader? So we'll start with Blair.
I wanted to become a DIF leader to gain more experience as a leader and improve my leadership skills.
I chose to be a Cyclone Aide and to apply for it because I wanted to share my love for Iowa State and the experience it has given me to the new students. I mainly wanted them to get excited about college and tell them what it's like to be a Cyclone.
I applied for the Cyclone Aide position because I wanted to work on my communication and leadership skills, and I also wanted to have those interactions with new students and their families as they come to Iowa State for possibly the first time.
Awesome. So I'll ask each of you another question here. So why is it important in your mind to be a student leader? Why apply for these types of positions?
I think it's important because you can gain a lot of leadership skills that you can use for your future career once you graduate, which is really helpful.
I think it's important to be a student leader because it puts you in a position to get out of your comfort zone. And in college, it's important to kind of figure out what you like and dislike. And this is a really good opportunity to figure that out.
I think it's important because it's a great opportunity to meet a lot of new people, both fellow leaders and also new students, and be a positive impact on their experience.
Awesome. So for my Cyclone aides in the group, what kind of skills have you learned because of your position within Cyclone aides? You know, different leadership skills, maybe public speaking skills, things like that. So let's start with Ellen, and then we'll go to Katie as well.
I personally have found that I developed a lot of teamwork skills and a lot of adaptability skills, just kind of going with the flow and learning kind of where I fit in best in a leadership position.
I think I gained a lot of communication skills and public speaking. I had opportunities to work with students in small groups, present in large groups, work with fellow Cyclone aides to develop a presentation and give that presentation together. And I think that was a really valuable experience for me going forward.
Perfect. I have to ask, do either of you have a favorite memory from first attending your own orientation? So did you have any certain experience with your Cyclone aides that kind of inspired you to maybe apply to be a Cyclone aide?
I personally am a transfer student or was a transfer student. And so I attended the one-day orientation back in April of that year. And I loved it because the Cyclone aide that talked to me most was also a transfer student. So I felt like they kind of knew what I was going through. And got me more excited for Iowa State.
During my orientation, I actually changed majors from the College of Business to the College of Engineering. So I was kind of going crazy, but all of the Cyclone aides were really helpful and, helping me figure out where to go, what I need to get done. So that was my orientation experience.
Okay, so follow up to that. What was your favorite part of your experience as a Cyclone aide last summer?
Personally, it was kind of getting that community, another community within Iowa State. So I am always connected with the Cyclone aides that I met through this position, and they will be my lifelong friends.
I think my favorite part was getting to answer students' questions and being a resource for them. Many of them hadn't been to campus yet, and so just helping them with that transition and knowing that I was having an impact.
Absolutely. I want to remind everybody, if you have a question, feel free to put that in the Q&A. But I do have another question. I have lots of questions for you, don't worry. And what was your relationship like with your Cyclone aide team? I know it might have been a little bit different this year, but especially with that Destination Iowa State time and things like that, what is it like to be on that team?
I personally found that we came together in hard times of COVID. We have our group chats that still go on today. And we've kind of just bonded virtually, which is a different experience, but it's something that I'll cherish forever.
Yeah, one thing is whenever we had, problems or questions during Destination Iowa State, we were all able to ask each other for help and, assist each other. Another fun thing is just when you see a fellow Cyclone aide on campus, just another person to wave to as you pass by.
We got the iconic polos. You can see some of the pictures on the slide there. But it really, you do recognize those folks across campus when you see them during the school year and stuff. And so it's really a lot of fun. Tell me, were you able, maybe not the closest of friends, but like, did you make some friends and maybe even close friends through this experience?
I personally did. We have thing called a Cyclone Aide buddy, and that's someone you just kind of go to whenever you need help on something or anything like that. And my Cyclone Aide buddy, we found out that like we have very much of the same background, and we just have always connected ever since we met back in last January. So that's been a great experience.
Yeah, same here. I love getting dinners with Cyclone Aides during the school year now and seeing them around campus.
So for those that don't know, the Cyclone Aide position and the Destination Iowa State team leader position are run through the Office of New Student Programs. So could you two both kind of explain how that kind of works? Who's in charge of the Cyclone Aides? Who's helping to support the team?
So with the new student programs, there's many people who are in charge of us, but all of them are so easy to talk to, and honestly, so many laughs have been shared with each and every one of them. And if you ever have a problem, it's so easy just to contact them because they're always available through email or text.
Yeah, and to go off of that, there's also Cyclone Aide advisors who have gone through, have experienced being a Cyclone Aide before, and they're a great resource as well.
There are many alumni of the Cyclone Aides of many classes. It's quite the tradition here at Iowa State for sure. So if I were a freshman, sophomore student, maybe I don't know everything about Iowa State right now. How is the training program? Am I gonna know what I'm talking about when I get to talk to these students and those families?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of training that goes into being a Cyclone Aide. And honestly, I didn't know anything going in, especially when we had to do the tour script. It was kind of one of those daunting things. But once you kind of get the hang of everything and actually start working in the job, you all of a sudden just kind of click with it and you have your buddies with you the entire time.
Yeah, we go through all the information you'll ever need and more.
There's lots to learn about Iowa State, so it takes some time, but you can definitely learn it all. So it's good stuff. So a good training program as well. Thank you too for helping me out there in terms of answering some questions and things like that, sharing your experiences. I'll touch on Destination Iowa State here as well, and I'll have you two kind of help alongside Blair, kind of giving that Cyclone Aide portion of the Destination Iowa State experience too, to kind of tie that portion in there. But we do want to give you some information on Destination Iowa State, being a team leader here, and so you can see just the excitement in the tunnels, coming out and meeting your team and your team leader. It's a really exciting experience, and it's something that's so unique to Iowa State. And so you can be a part of this. So if you're not looking at the Cyclone Aide position, you might be looking at the team leader position, a little bit less in terms of time commitment and things like that. And so we'll go over that here a little bit. So first of all, what are team leaders? So these leaders are leaders of small groups of incoming students. And so they'll come in, they're ready to go for the first day of class, but they might not know where any of the classes are, things like that. And they want to come to Destination Iowa State to learn a little bit about Iowa State. And you get to be that welcoming face. And so you get to welcome them to Iowa State, teach them the ways and the things that they need to know. We can only share so much at orientation, but this is when it's just the students. Mom and dad have dropped them off, and so they are ready to experience college, and we help them kind of get started. And so we hire lots and lots of team leaders to help out with this giant event. And so you do get to collaborate with other team leaders as well. We see it all the time where team leaders will combine teams for different events and things like that, working with more students. And it's really a cool, impactful experience for those incoming students. And you get to be that person. A lot of students, and I can ask the panelists as well here in a second, in terms of remembering who their team leader was and that experience. And you remember those types of things. So it's a really cool impact that you get to have. And again, just being those positive representatives of Iowa State, and just being that welcoming face. And so that's really what it boils down to. And so in terms of those position details, Destination Iowa State is always the Thursday through Saturday before school starts. That has not been determined for the new school year quite yet. But whenever that is, it'll be the Thursday through Saturday before school starts. Training for Destination Iowa State team leaders will be the Wednesday before the event. And so how that'll look will be announced a little bit later. But in terms of that, you can plan on having some training on that Wednesday, and then those 3 days working with your students. In terms of pay for this year, pay will also be $10 an hour. You can expect to have 30 to 40 hours with your team over that time frame. There, especially during those 3 days, is when a lot of that will happen. So you'll be going to different events, checking in, and all that kind of stuff, and just having a lot of fun, honestly. And so you get to do a lot of those different events. And what's going to be really great this year is we are working through Workday, so that means faster payment for all of our team leaders. So you can get that money right away and spend it on whatever you got going on, maybe books, the appropriate thing to be buying and things like that. So you can get that payment a little bit quicker this year as well. So we're very excited to have that update for you in terms of those position details. So if you are returning as a Destination Iowa State team leader, you can look forward to that. In terms of the applications for team leaders, those are due on March 31st, so a little bit longer of a timeline here. So you do have some time to think about it. That's due at 11:59 on that night. So that's just a cool picture there to kind of show you the massive event that this is. It's quite the undertaking, and we need lots of help. So if you're looking at being a team leader, we want you part of the team. It's really, really a fun experience. And these are just a few of those photos of our team leaders welcoming those students, the classic red bags that they get for those incoming students and joining their team. And so really, really cool, impactful experience. And let's bring back in our panelists here. And so I'm going to start with Blair just because she's had that experience. First, can you just tell me about your experience as a team leader? When were you a team leader? And what was it like to have a team underneath you?
So I've been a team leader for 2 years. I was a team leader back in 2018 and 2019. It was just really fun and just to do it. Back my first year, yes, it was when it started pouring down rain, so we had like last minute move everything in. That was kind of interesting how that worked out, but everything worked out, so that was nice. It was just a really fun experience. It's very you get really pumped up the first day to do the activities with your students, and it's just a really fun experience.
Why was being a team leader at DIS important for you, Blair?
I think it was really important just to welcome. It's like the first time that freshmen or transfer students actually step on campus by themselves without their parents. Some of them may not know anybody, so it's a great opportunity to make friends. For me, instance, I didn't know anybody, and my roommate actually did DIS with me, so it was a great time for us to bond and get to know each other for the first weekend before classes started.
Absolutely. And you did it multiple years, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Perfect. So a question I think a lot of people are going to have is they're going to say, well, I've never held a leadership position before, so should I be applying for either position really? So could each of you kind of touch on just a little bit about what you would say to a student that says, I've never had a leadership position before? Like, am I cut out for this? Like, am I going to succeed in this role?
I would say always try to apply to leadership positions, no matter what it is, even if it's just a small part, because you will never know. Like, I didn't think I would be a good leader because I was quiet and stuff, but like when I became a DIS leader, it helped me to like open up and be more outgoing.
I would personally 100% recommend it. I never really had a leadership position before at ISU, and it kind of gave me just a chance to grow into the leader that I always wanted to be, and to kind of also find more leadership positions after being a Cyclone Aide. So I would 100% give it a chance.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend you apply. You know, the positions are looking for, you know, people with all different kinds of experience, not just one type of leader who's done all this stuff. And even, you know, experiences in group projects and the, you know, role that you played in that can also help with being a leader.
Absolutely. And so I'll go back to Blair on this one. So what kind of impact do you think, you've done this for multiple years, what kind of impact do you think you've had on those students that you got to help and welcome to Iowa State?
I feel like I've helped them like get comfortable on campus. During my second year, I had some people that were not from the Midwest at all. One was from California and one was from the East Coast, so they were kind of like didn't know what like Iowa was all about and stuff. And I think I really got them comfortable to campus that first weekend. And I just think it's like a great opportunity.
Perfect. I want to bring back into Cyclone Aides here for a minute. So your role in terms of Cyclone Aide is to support these team leaders, kind of be a mentor for them. You two got to do that a little bit and talked about being able to interact with team leaders, even really your other Cyclone Aides as well. But just talk about kind of having that leadership and any sort of really mentorship role is how important that is.
I personally think that kind of mentoring and looking after the team leaders was just kind of one of those things where you kind of just work together and you work with other Cyclone Aides to make it the best experience possible.
Yeah, and show your enthusiasm, show interest, and bring all that together for everyone.
Awesome. Blair, if you had to pick your favorite event from Destination Iowa State to be a part of as a team leader, what would it be?
Probably the pancakes in the morning. One, you get food, but it's also a lot of music and games going on, and you can win prizes. It's just a lot of fun, especially like early in the morning when you don't want to be awake. It really wakes you up.
Absolutely. It's really unique experience, something that's very different at Iowa State compared to pretty much anywhere else you go. Just kind of these big events for our new students and stuff like that. Blair, can you kind of explain what it's like? We're seeing a lot of these pictures here from the first kickoff, the picnic kickoff and stuff. Can you kind of explain what it's like to be in this kind of massive operation and being a part of that and helping with that day?
Yeah, so it's might seem like overwhelming because there's so many people and stuff, but like once you get your group and stuff, it kind of comes down a little bit, but it's just super fun. Just being just a little part of a big thing overall is really nice to know.
Perfect. All right, my final question, I'll go to all three of you here. So if you had some advice for students going through either the Cyclone Aide interview process or the team leader interview process, what piece of advice would you have for them? We'll start with Blair.
For the DIS interview, I'd just say just relax. It's pretty laid back. There's nothing really to stress about. Just be yourself.
Yeah, for the Cyclone Aide position, they really just want to see your authentic self. And personally, I think being vulnerable is a great attribute to it too. Like personally, because I was a transfer student, I could really talk about what it meant to me to be welcome to the university and how I really wanted to help people coming to the university, and new and transfer students also. So just be your true self.
My advice would be to really show your enthusiasm for Iowa State, and also think back to your orientation or destination Iowa State experience and how you felt and how you might be a leader in those positions and what you would say to students and families.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, all three of you, for helping out and giving your experiences and things like that. We're looking for those positive role models and up and coming leaders as well. This could definitely be your first leadership experience. It could be your fourth. It's a really cool opportunity, both of these, to help out at Iowa State. And those applications are open right now. So you are able to go in and apply for both these. They're both on the same website, so it's admissions.iastate.edu/leaders there. So you can click on that. If you go to the admissions website, you'll be able to find it as well, but that's kind of the direct link for you. To remind you, Cyclone Aide applications are due on the 21st of February, 11:59, and then the team leader applications are due on the 31st of March at 11:59, so a little bit longer there. So if you're thinking about either one of these positions, we highly recommend taking a look at it, taking a look at the answers that everyone gave here today, and just kind of getting that experience. You can obviously talk to folks that have done these positions. We've hired hundreds of team leaders, and lots of Cyclone Aides as well. It's a really cool, impactful opportunity, a really great leadership opportunity for you as well. So we're looking forward to seeing all of your applications. Thank you all for joining us today, and we hope to see your applications soon, and go Cyclones.